Hey up everybody, we're back again. It's TTL round number 9 for Division 2. Today we are back with Austria. We've got the normal setup today with a full qualifying and a 50% race and a full grid already, so yeah, really good turnout from the Division 2 boys. My name is Revengezilla and I'm here once again with Diamond Douche.
How
you doing, my friend?
Feeling good, feeling good.
Yeah, and already one car out on track. It's looking very sunny and dry. I know before we went live you were hoping for a little bit of rain.
It shakes it up a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it doesn't look very wet at the minute, I'll be honest.
No, it's not looking good for wet, but you know, it's still very fun in the dry. Should promote more overtakes.
Yeah, well, after a very entertaining and close race in Division 1 yesterday, it's really set the tone for what could be a really interesting race here in Division 2. And once again, as I seem to say this every week, but we've got some people making their debut tonight. Do you want to take us through our debutants? Because I think I'm going to get this wrong if I do it. Eugenio, he's got to be a debutant.
Yeah, I think he's the debut. I think it is Eugenio.
I know EG46 Squid is also making his debut in TTL tonight. It'll be a familiar name for a few of our viewers that pay attention to Fair Play Racing League. He's a Division 2 driver there, and we'll look to see what he can do over here at TTL. This is going to be his first effort in qualifying, and he's filling in at Ferrari today, so he's got quite a nice car to start off with, but I know he likes the Mercedes, so this might be a bit blasphemous.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ferrari is probably one of the better cars he could have been put in other than the Merc.
As the Lapio Fin then completes our first lap of the qualifying session, it's a 106.4, which is, as far as I'm aware, not very quick. So we'll expect to see the times tumble down
as they are
as the time goes on in this session. Should we have a little look at the championship standings then? So it looks like quite a big lead out in front then of, if my maths is correct, 43 points. For LWS Yorkie, who's currently sat in the box at the moment, and yeah, quite a big lead over Viking Beast, who is also not here tonight. I know he's let me know that he's going to be back next week because his wheel is broken at the minute, so this championship fight has really gone down the pisser. And what it does mean is joint for third place we've got Nigel Piggle and Belente not here today, so really it's down to Nigel Piggle to put the pressure on Lewis Yorkie if this championship is going to go much further. But Lewis Yorkie, we know, is a very, very consistent driver, and expect to see him near the front of the grid come the end of qualifying.
Yeah, if there's anyone that can put the fight to Yorkie, it would be Piggle. He's a little bit less consistent, but we know he's got pace.
Yeah, another couple of drivers to point out then that I know are going to be up there. We've got Shadows in the Mercedes, who's just coming around his outlap now. He's going to start his first qualifying run. But also Bidley has managed to fraud his way into Division 2. Not sure how he's managed to get here, but nonetheless...
it's an abuse of power. It's abuse of power.
Yeah, it is. Because who's going to tell him no? Who's going to tell him no? And, hello to everyone that has joined us in the chat so far. You best believe that when the safety cars come out, the conversation's going to get a bit nuts. So stay tuned for that. But so far, there's 6 minutes gone, Diamond. It looks like only 9 of our drivers have set a lap time, and it's EG46 Squid then, who's the fastest of the lot so far.
Yeah. I don't know whether it's because of tyre saving. It is optimal to use one set of tyres in Q1, and I think the track evolution around here is quite high. So I don't know whether some of the drivers are just leaving it late to get the best lap time out of the track.
Yeah, I know now the update to the game has come out that you're allowed to take a medium compound in the qualifying session. So it looks like Bidley, TJM and Yorkie have selected the medium tyres to go out with on their first run in Q1. Do you think there's much of a tyre delta between the two? And is there a chance that these guys could pull out a lap that would be good enough to see them through?
I think the mediums are quite a bit slower than the soft, but the three that have opted for the mediums are all three quick drivers, so you would expect them to get through to Q2 regardless.
Yeah, as Yorkie then's going to come across the line, he's going to do a 105.9, which you'd like to think will more than likely be enough to see him through. Bidley did invalidate at the exit of turn 1 for his first run on the mediums, but the good thing about those tyres is they've got plenty of life in them, so he's going to save his ERS and he's going to give it another go momentarily. We do have Mars Bar round at turn number 1. As I say that, El Plan goes to the top of the pile, but we're going to go on board with TJM then, as he's the other medium runner, so we'll see what he can do on the harder compound tyre as he's coming to the section where you think the tyre advantage is going to swing in the way of the softs. It takes a lot of front tyres on those two double left-handers and a lot of rear grip on the exit of the second left-hander. Now it's all about front downforce into the final two corners. You have to get your turn in just perfect as to avoid the inside curb. But TGM gets it just nicely. It's going to be a mid 106, is it? Yeah, 106.6, which is actually the slowest of our times so far. So expect to see TJM have to come round for the soft tyres.
Yeah, I've also noticed that Nigel Piggle has put the mediums on in the pit. I don't know whether he's throwing a dummy out or whether he's actually going to try it upon them. Maybe he believes in the tyre.
Yeah, I think, especially for drivers like Piggle, who's on a 105.7 at the moment, I don't think there's any need to go out again, whether it be on the soft or the mediums. So expect, in my opinion, it'd be good to save all the tyres and just wait it out to see what happens with everybody else in this session. But it seems like it's been a pretty clean session across the board so far. We've only got 0.6 of a second between 1st and 13th, albeit it's a very short lap round here and very, very fine margins. And I think there's a couple of corners, Diamond, here where the time is sort of won and lost, and I think the exit of turn 1 and the exit of turn 3 are ones that stand out to me. Is there anywhere that sort of stands out to you that can cause some drivers to lose a lot of time and some are going to be stronger?
Yeah, if you're using full traction, to exit of turn 1 and turn 3 are going to be awful. But if you are on full traction, the sector 2 is an incredibly strong sector, as when you're on mediums it's hard to get the power down, as the two left-handers are incredibly harsh on the tyre, especially the rear end, and it's very easy for the car to go round. I think time can be made up in that second sector if you're on the full traction.
Yeah, from personal experience last night, I definitely had a few moments at the two left-handers on the medium traction, and it just having a look again at the medium runners, Diamond, it looks like Bidley is really struggling there. He's invalidated 3 laps so far. Somehow he's got enough fuel to go for another one. He's going to run a little bit low on ERS come the end of this lap, but he's invalidated again. I'm sure he's going to be losing his lid.
And imagine frauding your way into Div 2 and invalidating every lap.
Well, he's under pressure now. 7.5 minutes to go then. Bidley yet to set a lap, and he's still got to come in for an in-lap.
He's invalidated again.
So, yeah, it's an absolute nightmare. But one person we will go on board with, he's invalidated his first lap, but Jarvis then is out on the soft tyres, filling in at Aston Martin tonight. And I remember last time he raced with us, Diamond, he was unbelievably quick in qualifying at Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, he seems to have good one-lap pace. His race craft is questionable, but he is definitely a quick driver.
Yeah, absolutely. And quick hello to I'm Now Decent in the chat saying, good to see I have good pace today, but I remember you winning a league race round here. So this should be your bread and butter, surely. Right then, as Jarvis comes around the final 2 corners.
Must be an ironic message there, as he is bottom of the timing.
Jarvis makes us eat our words then and does a score 106.9.
Lovely.
Right. For God's sake. Right then, on board with TJM. He's at turn number 3 at the moment. And it looks like, I don't know if that was a glitch of the Delta, but it looks like he's half a second up after the first sector, which is what he needs to propel himself into the top 10 and nicely safe in this session. There's 6 minutes left to go. And he's got a little bit of a marker out in front of Law. And if he can use that to sort of get his eye in around this middle sector, turn in and a little bit early, and that results in a bit too much usage of the inside curb, and he's going to go for a little spin round. Jarvis is going to have to be careful when he makes his way round here, as to avoid TJM. But that's disaster for TJM, really, using a lot of battery and a lot of tyre life. And he's in the danger zone at the minute in P15.
Yeah,
and he's going to come straight into the box for a new set by the looks of it.
I think the delta for the mediums was a little bit too much for him, and he's definitely under pressure now, having had that spin.
Yeah, then there's Law gives himself a little bit of breathing room between him and the rest of the field, going with a 1:05.5, and that's a tenth and a half faster than El Plan in second, who are two unlikely candidates for the faster lap times in these sessions. Definitely wouldn't have Law or El Plan up, in the top 2. Very well done from the pair indeed, as that means that they are safely through this session and definitely set the tone for the others to chase.
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise having those two up the top. No disrespect to them, but they're definitely not the people we expect to normally be up there. With a few, with the likes
El
of
Plan needs an invite apparently. Sorry to cut you off.
I think I've invited him already.
No, right.
I'll just chuck him another one.
Right then, Bidley yet to set a lap time, and it's 4.5 minutes left of the session. So we'll go on board with him as he makes his way round the Spielberg circuit on the soft compound tyres this time. Definitely given the mediums a miss, as he's looking like he's got a pretty tidy lap time so far. He's going to be looking to get into the 105s if he wants to be safe for definite. There's a lot of drivers now coming out onto their out laps. There's definitely going to be some action left in this session, Diamond, as I don't think it's all said and done here as to who's in the bottom 5.
No, it is looking like it's going to be very close for the fight to get out of Q1, especially with the likes of TJ and not Bidley anymore. TJ and Locker down near the bottom 5.
So Thunder Buddy and Bidley then both improving. Thunder Buddy up to a 106.0, and that puts him up into P10, and you would like to think hopefully safe, but is, I mean, if you look, it's only a second and a half separating the entire field at the minute, and it's safe to say that TJM Jarvis and I'm Now Decent are quite off the pace, but I'm Now Decent taking a massive esports line there, and it's going to result in an improvement of a 10th. But still leaves him P20.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting line.
I mean, it gained him time, so. But just not.
So we'll go back
enough.
on board with TJM. He's going to have to give it another go. He's going to be careful on the second of the left-handers, because that is where he made the mistake on the penultimate lap. A few drivers now retiring in the pit lane, saying that is enough, and they think they are safely through. It's not worth the extra set of tyres for some of these guys. Let's have a look at TJM's line through here. A lot more cautious on the entry, but it gives him a far better exit. Keeps the car nice and stable, so we'll see what he's got then in the final 2 corners. He's going to need an improvement of about half a second if he wants to be safe. So we'll see what it gives him as he comes across the line. Will he be in the 105s? He will, just about. That's an excellent lap time then from TJM, who's had to put on another set of the soft tyres. And as I said, Heginio also on his debut comes across the line. And that is a 105.8 from him, putting him up to P7 and safely through. I'll tell you what I'm surprised about, Marsbar.
Yeah, he is a little bit further down than I would have expected him to be.
He is coming out on a fresh set though.
I think he'll be able to get himself out of the bottom 5. Also, quite shocked that Locker is as far down as he is, who is 2/10 up at the minute.
You lot ready to see a Marsbar masterclass?
Put himself second.
In the chat. Yes, he's just shit all over your commentary.
No, I know he's a fast lad. I was shocked he was as far down as he is, and he's proved why.
Going ahead of the Bidley fraud then. It's making a very close qualifying session. So Marsbar then coming around to finish his outlap then. We're going to go on board with him because this is going to be his last opportunity to get himself into Q2. He's got his cheerleader in the chat saying that we're ready for a masterclass, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and we'll go on board with the Ferrari driver who's definitely going to be expecting to pull out more than a 106.3. But what you've got to be surprised at, Diamond, is Marsbar in 18th has actually done a relatively decent time, if you look. He's only 8/10 off of P1 and he's 18th.
Yeah, it's a ridiculously close grid. It's incredibly competitive. It will be lost by thousands of tenths at times.
He needs to improve then by 2/10 if he wants to have a chance of getting through into Q2. We'll have a look at his split time. He's 2.5 tenths up, so he's on board then, and he's on task to get into Q2. He's going to attack the final 2 corners there. A little bit too cautious on entry, leaving a lot of track space on the inside, but the final corner was much better. Then he's going to open up the DRS, and he's going to just about get into the 105s, and that should see Marsbar safe. So now we'll jump across to the Lapio Finn, who's validated.
Oh, desperately
Jarvis
unlucky.
is also invalidated then, so that's it done. That is desperately unlucky. The Lapio Finn is 6/10 off of P1 and has been knocked out. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, barring Jarvis and I'm now decent, that is a ridiculously close
Yeah,
grid from
they had a
18th
stinker.
to first.
They have had a howler. That is so close. Well then, as the final drivers make their way into the box, we will be able to skip forwards into Q2. Is there any surprises then in the drop zone for you? I'm looking at Big Maxwell. He's going to be really disappointed in P18, but is there anyone else that you think is going to be really disappointed?
Yeah, the Lapio Finn. He's been desperately unlucky. He's so close to not being in the bottom 5, but he just couldn't quite get his last lap together.
5.5 tenths then, the gap between 16th and 1st. That is absolutely ridiculous. And a big shout out to Lewis Yorkie as well, our championship leader, who makes it through on the medium tyres. He's going to surely have the advantage in the next 2 sessions. That's going to leave him, 4 sets of soft tyres for the last 2 sessions? Which is going to give him the best opportunity to take pole position. But it's Law who's fastest in Q1. Whilst we are just in the break between sessions, we will jump over to the sports panel with Diamond, we'll have a look at the EFL Cup, where MK Dons are hosting the mighty Morecambe, and the Dons are 1-0 up. It's unbelievable, and it's
You've got to love it from the Dons.
well, it's you know, we're in the third round here, mate, and we're 1-0 up.
Definitely doing bits.
Exactly. We ain't got this far in a long time. If anyone's got any ACCAs on tonight, let us know what you've gone with. Piggle saying shit on the Morecambe, absolutely. PAFC Yorkie saying fuck the Morecambe, cheer up Derek Adams. Yeah, Derek Adams is a waste man. I don't know if there's rain coming or anything, Diamond, but everyone is flooding out the pits here.
I don't know. It certainly looks very sunny to me.
Mini then going to be the first car out on track, and I always see it as a curse being the first car out on track, because you know the commentary team are going to go on board with you.
I don't know, I quite enjoy being the first car out. You get a lot of open track.
You say that, but watch someone come out the pit lane right in front of Mini now. So we've got a few drivers choosing this session to go on the mediums. I wonder if Yorkie's going to give this session a go on the mediums.
You know, as I've said that,
I think we might have called it. I think we literally just spoke about it. Here we go. It's going to be cars on the pit exit. So we'll go on board with Mini then for his first lap time. Really careful on the throttle on the exit of turn 1. But what it is going to mean is he's going to get a really nice tow then from his teammate. That was judged absolutely to perfection, and he's you know, even with that extra speed, he's managed to hit his braking zone nicely. And, we won't talk too much about turn 3 after last night's monstrosity.
No, we'll move on from turn 3.
Yeah, we'll move on. It was a lapse of judgment.
It was a miss.
So then, Mini. I can't remember who I was at the inside of, but it was far too enticing. I had to go. Right then, as Mini comes around the final 2 corners, he's nailed the first of the right-handers, and he's nailed this corner as well. If he can go, we've absolutely jinxed him.
That didn't
He's
go
going to
well.
have to be careful, Heginio is, as he comes around to set a 106.8, which is not going to be quick enough at all. We looked at the last session, it was a 106.1 was what got you safe.
Yeah.
I was in a 105.2 to start out the session from Squid.
Yeah, you have. That is an incredibly fast time. Not
That's ridiculous.
as you know, the closest to him is a 105.9. That is a ridiculous time.
Yeah, and we have 105.5 was the best in the last session, so that is a real benchmark then from EG46 Squid. Hello to Gary in the chat. Hello, mate.
Wagwan guys.
Nice to see you, Junior. Safe, Dom. There's, EG46 Squid then, setting the benchmark, and it looks like an absolute clusterfuck in the middle sector. Like, what is going on here?
Oh, Mini's got to be careful to not get in the way here.
So then Nigel Piggle's going to come across the line for a 106.1. A lot of drivers not really nailing that first run, and Squid's binned it. Wait,
what?
Is he retired on track? He has.
Yeah. No.
Was that on accident? Wait. No? Was that Mars? That was Mars Bar. Wait. What? Why is this car in the pits?
What's happened to him here?
I know you're in the chat, Squid, so if you can let us know what the fuck's happened there. What? You just binned it, or?
I don't know. I didn't see the yellows come up. I saw the yellows for Mars.
Yeah, I think
He crashed in the pit. Oh.
Well, I mean, we're gonna gloss over that and give a quick shout out to Thunder Buddy, who's done a 105.4 then, which is equally as impressive. But what it does mean is Squid is gonna be as high as P10 then. On the starting grid, and for someone that's capable of doing a 105.2, that is absolute disaster. Genio in the chat then saying, thoughts on me, the newcomer? Well, if you could set a 105.1, we'll sing your praises.
It wasn't a bad lap on the mediums, but he's definitely going to have to scrap them off now. Maybe it was just good to set a delta to just save a set of softs.
Yeah, easy banker. I mean, we talked about everyone rushing out the pits because of Rain Diamond. Has it got a bit darker?
I think it might have become a little bit more overcast. Yeah.
Get on board with Lewis Yorkie and have a look at the sky coming into this final sector.
Yeah, it is a lot more overcast than it was before.
I swear to God, if any of you drivers spoil the weather for us in the chat, you'll get removed from the league instantly. It's an instant league ban.
That's not a threat, it's a promise.
Look at that, it's looking dark, mate.
Yeah. I don't know whether... We could see rain start of Q3.
Yeah, it's looking like it's a bit too far away here. Now then, Lewis Yorkie invalidated his first lap on the mediums, but he's going to give it a go on the second attempt. It says his mediums on my screen, but then I go onto his car and he's got red tyres on.
It tells me he's got
I don't know
soft.
what it says for you.
So it's soft.
Oh, okay. Well then, Eugenio saying there's a monsoon coming. FP Racing leads. Twitch account says rain in 10 minutes. We've got Piggle saying it's thunder. Christ. I remember when I used to live in Northern Ireland, it was like you'd have all 4 seasons in one day. Like it was actually capable of like rain, sunshine, snow and like tornado all in the same day.
That is insane.
As Lewis Yorkie then comes around the final corner. Oh my God, what a lap time this is going to be. It's going to be a 105.3 and he goes P1. Squid is going to be fuming here.
It's on a U set as well.
Squid is going to be absolutely livid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you don't crash into the pits, then it wouldn't have happened.
If you've got a clip of that, Squid, then feel free to send it into the Discord because I'd love to watch that. Now, one driver who I am impressed with so far in this session, Mini, setting a 105.7. He's normally, from what I've seen, not being the quickest qualifier and normally a lot more handy in the race. And to go P3 in Q2 is very, very impressive. And I'm not sure if that's, you know, the fastest lap that we're going to see from him for the rest of the qualifying, but if he's got more left in the tank, then he's definitely in with a chance of being up the sharp end come the end of this qualifying session.
Yeah, I do think he's got more to give.
Now then, Darth Grey Fox, who just about scraped his way through into Q2, has gone up into the 105s then and pushes him as high as P5. And we currently have 8 tenths separating P1 and P11. But it's very possible that both Law and Eugenio can pop themselves into the top 10 after seeing what they could do in qualifying 1. As both AlphaTauris then come down the pit straight, and TJM pops himself into P3 then with a 105.6. Another driver who's not normally a quick qualifier, but what a lap time that is from the AlphaTauri.
He's giving a lovely toe to Bidley.
They've orchestrated this absolutely perfect because Bidley is getting the fattest toe ever.
Ooh.
Not only is he too quick for this tier, but he's also getting a toe, and he's making mistakes like that.
I was going to say, he made an absolute cock up of that corner.
Yeah, way too trigger happy on the throttle then, and it looks like Bidley just ain't got the techers.
He's not good enough. He's not got it. Piggles in the bottom five.
What's that noise you just came out with?
I don't know.
Right then, as you said, Piggle in the bottom five, and it looks like he's not got a lot of DRS left, so I'm not sure how this lap is going so far, but he looks like he's on full attack. He's a tenth and a half up, coming into the final sector, and if he's got enough battery to work with, potentially he can make an improvement here to bump him into the top 10. It looks like he must be making an improvement because he's going to go for it instead of going into the pits. He was really close on the throttle on the exit there, and what a lap time. Gained another half a second in the final sector without full ERS. So there's definitely more in the bag then for Nigel Piggle. Very interesting indeed.
Yeah, it's looking very close between the top three.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they're about 2 tenths quicker then than Q1, but it is looking very dark once again.
It's definitely got darker.
Yeah, Bidley is on another push lap then, and he has got a McLaren right in front of him. It's Heginio, who I believe is also on a lap. So he's got absolutely no obligation at all to move out of the way. As Bidley's going to get a little bit of dirty air into the final 2 corners, but he absolutely nails that final corner. He's going to come across the line, he's going to be safely through into the top 10, but Heginio is just going to miss out with a 105.9, still not through into the top 10. And I think, looking at the drivers here, Diamond, the Mercedes boys are in big trouble.
Yeah, you'd expect the Mercedes to be near the top end. They just don't seem to be able to get the lap together at the minute, as Shadows is on a lap at the minute, I think.
Yeah, as we'll go on board with him then.
He's 2 tenths up in through sector 2.
2.5 tenths up then, as he's going to come into the final sector now, and he might potentially need a little bit more of an improvement if he's going to be completely safe. And surely it's not going to start raining, because it is looking so dark. Shadows then goes up to P5 with a 1.056, and now it's back to a case of it being just 6 tenths then between first and the drop zone.
Yeah, it's ridiculously close. Anyone could go out at this point. Yeah, it's going to be a very tight margin between being in the Q3 and out of Q2.
Right then, as Law comes across the line and he gets himself into the top 10, and it's just about by about half a tenth. We've got a few drivers then on their outlaps. It looks like L Plan's come out on a used set. We've got Darth Grey Fox. Heginio hasn't quite made his way out the box yet. He's going to have to get himself out really quickly if he's going to have a chance. But Locker and Gopher have both made their way out onto the circuit. Just look how close these times are. I can't get over how close this is.
Yeah, it is incredibly close. Locker is on a fast lap at the moment, but he is a 10th down out of Sector 1. And he's got absolutely no ERS.
So then Gopher comes across the line to start his final run. Expect to see him definitely put up a fight to try and get into the top 10. I mean, he only needs an improvement of a 10th if he wants to make his way through. And I think, yeah, I mean, EG46 Grid, he's had an absolute howler, hasn't
he? Yeah, you've got a feel for him, but, you know, crashing into the pit wall is not an ideal strategy, and he will be kicking himself. But it will put up, will be good for the race to see how far we can get up from 10th.
And it looks like Locker then is going to finish P15. But one man who is definitely on the move is, we cut away from him to go on board with Locker, but Gopher is absolutely on a flyer. He's 2.5 temps up in Sector 2, and it looks like he's nailed the final sector then. What's it going to be when it comes across the line? He's going to be a 105.5, and that's going to put Law down into the drop zone. Law, after topping the first qualifying session, is out in Q2.
Yeah, that's a shock, and he's only out by 4/100ths of a second.
So then it's down to El Plan and Heginio as the only drivers left then. And El Plan is the first of the two on the road. He understeers a little bit on the first. The left-hander, he's 4 temps up is El Plan. Surely not. I mean, it's showing us 3-lap-old tyres as well. If he can set a low 105 on 3-lap-old soft tyres, that'll be absolutely ridiculous. As he comes around the final corner then, after nailing the final 2 corners. What a lap time from El Plan. As we'll quickly jump over to Heginio then, as he's the only driver left to come round. What's it going to be? And he just misses out.
That's hard luck for Heginio. I don't think he's missed out. He's missed out by 2/100ths of a second.
Oh my lord, look how close it is again. Heginio, half a second off of P1, and he doesn't make it through. It's absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. As El Plan, who's he's looking absolutely on fire today, Diamond. He was quick in Q1. He's the fastest in the fastest of people who didn't crash into the pits in Q2. So we'll see out of the top 9 then who is going to be in with a chance of pole position. Big shout out to no bias here, but big shout out to TJM who makes his way into Q3. I know he's not a solid qualifier, and that is an excellent performance from him.
Yeah, he's doing well. Absolutely no bias, just seeing as he's in the Alpha Tauri there now.
Heginio saying he'll take that considering he did no practice. I mean, yeah, you can't be too disappointed, mate. It's P11, but you're only half a tenth off P1. I mean, what can you do? There's not a lot more you can do other than that then, and it's still not raining diamonds, so I think we've
been sold here. But Piggle is rushing out of the pits here.
He's absolutely flying out, yeah. We can see his pit crew doing some work here. It looks like he is going to be the first of our drivers on track on medium tyres. Has he lost the plot?
Yes. I'm not sure whether that's the best tyre to be on. It's an interesting choice.
He's lost his... I mean, if he goes and whacks in a 104.9 now, we'll shut up, I guess, but...
But for now...
Yeah, for now, we can call him an idiot. Alright, let's have a quick look at the football scores. Are Don still 1-0 up? They are. It's half-time.
That is beautiful.
Any surprises? Bit of cup magic. Doesn't look
Crawley's
like it.
1-1 with Burnley. That's about it.
Shit on the Crawley. Up the Clarets. Here we go then. As who's going to be the first round on track? It looks like TJM has forced his way through to the front of the pile. He's on the soft tyres, which I assume is the tyre to be on.
You would have thought.
He's going to... Oh god, Lapio Finn saying he's got an idea for me. Oh god. Oh, TGM has absolutely bollocks turn 1. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him back off. And, okay. Right then. We need to... Right. Give me 2 secs, I just need to boot Heginio from the league. That's absolutely
I've just seen
blasphemous
what
in the
he's
chat. That is appalling.
You were very
Absolutely
taken
appalling.
aback by that.
Yeah, I know, that's baffled my head, that has. Right then, as we're on board with medium tyre man Nigel Piggle, I mean, if he gets in the 105s, I'll be impressed.
I mean,
What sort of lap time are we expecting here?
high 106, probably at the most of like a 105.8, but watch him make me eat my words. As TJ does
Fair
a
enough to
105.8.
TJM after absolutely cocking up turn 1. Oh my lord, what a lap time from Piggle. If that's what he can do on the mediums, dread to think what he can do on the softs, as Thunder Buddy's going to be the next across the line then. A 105.4, what a lap time then. Mini comes across the line, but he's invalid. Bidley comes across the line, he's also invalid.
Gives a little wiggle, so he's obviously not happy with himself.
Yeah. Alright then.
L plans round.
As our championship leader then, Yorkie, starts his first run in Q3. We saw just how quick he was on the medium tyre. So here he is on the soft tyre, and we'll see what he has got in the locker. Any surprises so far, Diamond? We see obviously Pig. Oh my lord! Thunder Buddy just chilling on the racing line.
Yorkie's not going to be happy with that.
No, I can't imagine he will. That was that was poor.
Yeah.
Alright, that's it. Fair play Racing Leeds getting banned from the Twitch chat. You're all banned. Someone get an admin in here. Right then, as Bidley's going to give it another run on the soft tyres. He's had to, well, the game's forced him to do a cool down lap by invalidating this and next lap. So we will go on board with the fraud as he's going to come round then. That's it. How is that not invalid? Have you seen that?
No, I was reading the chat. No.
He's gone straight over the curbs at turn 1 and not invalidated. I swear to God, if he gets anywhere near the top of the pile with this lap, I'll be fuming. He's done a very good job though of keeping the rear of the car in check there. As I know when you go over those curbs at turn 1, it's very easy to spin the rears up.
It does bounce you a little bit, and it does offset the rear.
So then as he comes around into the middle sector, it's a 45.3. I've not really been paying attention to the sector time, so I don't know if that's quick or not.
It does seem like it is quite a quick lap.
It looks like he's being quickly followed by Thunder Buddy, who's gone for a second push lap on the same set.
And he's not invalidated, well done him.
Yeah, Bidley's going to come across the line. He's going to go P1 after cutting turn 1. And Thunder Buddy's also going to improve on a second push lap.
Oh.
Look how
It's
close
a
it is
lovely
between
lap
the pair.
Thunder Buddy.
Unbelievable. So then, Shadow's doing his best lap of the session so far with a 105.5. He's up in P3. But we'll go on board with Yorkie, who's the only driver yet to set a lap. El Plan, who was quick in the first 2 sessions. And he's invalidated, and he's absolutely fuming. He's revving shit out of that Williams. He's absolutely livid. Is that going to give him? I don't know how much time's left on the clock. Okay, there's 5.5 minutes. He's got plenty of time to get round.
He's definitely under pressure now, though.
He is. He is. Very good observation.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Another man who's under pressure then, ETNL Mini. We pointed out as probably overperforming by being in this Q3 session, but he's on a 106.3 so far, and expect to see him putting in a better run on his final run of qualifying and fighting for those top 5 positions. But TJM he's half a tenth down on his time. Oh, the rear end wanted to go round on him as he put a bit more steering lock down. And we'll see if he can improve then on a 105.8. He doesn't think he's going to, so he pulls into the pit lane. El Plan is on a slow down lap, but Lewis Yorkie is the only car out there on a fast lap at the minute. He's going to hope El Plan moves out the way promptly, and he does. Yorkie absolutely nailing the final two corners. It's a beautiful final sector, and he goes across the line, and look how close it is between the front three. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is good.
you know what's funny is that EG46 Squid's lap time is about 100th quicker than all of these guys. Oh, bless him.
All you've got to think is it makes it an entertaining race, because he's definitely got the pace to be at the front.
Yeah, but then you've got to try and overtake 9 people at Austria, which is easier said than done in the DRS trains. But we're always up for a bit of Nigel Pickle Turn 3 masterclass late on the brakes. As I say that, he's coming out the pit lane.
You've summoned him.
And I think by the time Yorkie comes round, it looks like everyone's going to be coming out the pits at a fairly similar time. Squid said, I'm fuming. I told my dad and he said I'm a moron. Yep, you are a moron. SLR Evo, there's 2 tiers, mate. We've got Div 1 on a Monday night, 8 PM UK time, and we have Division 2, which is tonight, again 8 PM UK time.
Cheers, Jeff.
I'm sure if you're the Nightbot in here somewhere, is link in the Discord. Squid, honestly, mate, hand on heart, do you think if you were still in this session that you could do a better lap than you did in Q2? Let us know.
He must have been on track for a 1 minute 4 in his first run of Q3.
Who's on track for a 1 minute 4?
No, Squid would have been if he didn't hit the wall.
Well, no if, buts or maybes, as they say.
Don't do if, buts or maybes. Only do
Don't
absolutes.
do if, buts or maybes. Was that Gandhi or something?
No, it should have been.
Don't bet on the early kickoff. Anyway then, El Plan, who set the pace in the first 2 qualifying sessions, is on his hot lap. And what will be his final hot lap,
he's
by the looks of it. Is he?
Piggle. Sorry, I was watching Piggle.
That's okay. So then, El Plan, who cocked up the final 2 corners on his first run, is going to have to go full attack into the final corner, and he understeers a bit too late on the turn, and that's going to cost him crucial time, but he's going to come across the line still for a 105.1 even with that mistake.
He has got some
unbelievable
lightning pace around Austria.
One driver who is on a fast lap and in contention of pole position is Thunder Buddy. What a name. I can't get over that. Yes, absolutely. And if he goes P1 here, the roof is going to come off the places. Oh my lord,
he does
goes
as well.
P1 by 0.5 of a second. Bidley's going to come across the line then to start his final run. Shadows is going to come across the line to start his final run. Nigel Pickle is on a lap. He's got barely any ERS left, but it looks like he's 2 temps up.
Yeah, he is going quick. I mean, he did set a very good lap with nearly no ERS in the last session, so he could do the same again, as he is 4 tenths up through sector 2.
Yep, as you said, 4 temps up then through sector 2, and that's going to be enough to maybe fight for the top 4 positions. He nails the final 2 corners, and he's going to come across the line then. He's just going to miss out on the top 4. He sets a 105.3, and that's going to be the end of his qualifying session then. Next across the line, was going to be El Plan. He does not improve. He didn't have any more time left in the tyres. Gopher comes across the line, followed by Mini. Mini's going to go P7 then. What an effort from him. We definitely weren't expecting that much of a performance gap in his qualifying session compared to his recent, but Bidley, I think, might have got blocked a little bit by Thunder Buddy, but he's going to go
Still
P1.
goes P1
by 100th of a second. Has Yorkie got anything to say about it? Yorkie's 2.5 tenths up. Surely we're not going to see a 104, Diamond. Surely not.
If anyone can do it, it would be Yorkie.
Oh, it's beautiful round the final corner.
And he
does. He does. And that is it then. Lewis Yorkie as Nigel Piggles doing a Bottas. Lewis Yorkie takes pole position, the championship leader, with a lap that I'd say is definitely worthy of, a championship leader, and with Nigel Piggle being his closest rival in the championship, down in P5, and what looks like absolutely demoralised. So that's an absolute nightmare. He's trying to brake test an AI Mercedes. Nigel Piggle, if you could just put us out of our misery, mate. And he's going to go. He's going to go round, which I think is actually better than going in the pits.
Yeah, it's quicker.
There we go, and qualifying is over, ladies and gentlemen. On pole today then, LWS Yorkie, closely followed by, well, I say closely followed, round here it's not too close. I mean, what a lap time. To get into the 104s is absolutely unbelievable. We've got Bidley and Thunderbuddy then split by 100th of a second. Nigel Piggle saying, unlike some, I'm not on full traction. Cough, Yorkie, cough, as Dons have gone 2-0 up then. We're going to win the cup. So, I mean, who stands out there? I mean, we looked at El Plan to potentially be challenging for pole position, but he's just missed out 0.2 of a second. He's set a 105.1, which is really, really impressive. But I'm looking at TJM and Mini there in 6th and 8th. What an effort from the pair of those. And they're definitely going to have laid a good foundation for what should be a very, very close race.
Yeah, Tidjum's done very well to get himself into P6, but I was more impressed with Thunderbuddy's time. He's right up there amongst the top drivers, and it'd be very interesting to see what he can do in this race.
Yeah, so we stress, please do not ready up. What sort of tyre strategies are we going to look at today, Diamond? I think it's pretty one-dimensional around here, with the softs and the medium, not softs, the mediums and the hards being the only real usable tyres around here.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone's going to push the boat out and start on the softs in order to gain a little bit of track position, or do you think everyone's going to be either mediums or hards here?
There's potential for the people near the bottom end of the grid to go for soft, aggressive strategy, try and get some places up at the start of the race, hope for a safety car, and go from there. But other than that, I think it is dead set that everyone's either going to start on the hards or the mediums.
As we have a little bit of a break then before the start of this race, and it looks like, I mean, you pointed out that it's really sunny. It looks really sunny. I think our chance of rain today is very much out the window, and for the best. I think this is probably one of the circuits that can provide the closest racing, from start to finish, no matter what tyre you're on and no matter how much ERS you've got. It's always providing some really, really solid racing. And yeah, I'm glad it's going to stay dry.
Yeah, it's a very fast lap. There are a lot of chances for overtake, but if you do find yourself in in a train, it does make it a little bit more difficult. But the cars can run a lot closer.
So then, whilst we're on the grid and waiting, I've got a question.
Oh, go on.
So, you, Diamond, are the brand new signing for Man City. You are a goalkeeper, right?
Right.
You have got 38 Premier League games to keep one clean sheet. You personally, you've got to keep this clean sheet. You're playing 90 minutes every game, right? 5 million quid if you're successful. But both your arms get cut off, amputated, if you don't complete it. Are you taking a gamble?
Yeah, I'm going for that, yeah.
You're taking a gamble?
I reckon I'm taking the gamble on that, yeah.
You think you're getting a clean sheet in the Prem?
Oh, I'm top-notch keeper me.
Right, anyone else in the chat, let us know what you think. Are you taking the gamble? Bearing in mind your arms are on the line.
I think it's worth the gamble.
Is Yorkie starting on the softs?
He is.
Oh my word.
I did not expect that. Maybe
he's not the only one starting on the softs either. There's a few across the field. Couple of our
Fox. I'm now
a couple of our EULR friends in Milesborough and Darth Grey Fox, definitely not EULR, URC friends, choosing the soft compound tyres. It'd be interesting to see what they can do at the start of the races. There are a few runners on the hards. Thunder Buddy's definitely going to be a little bit under pressure at the start of the race after what was a really good qualifying. It's imperative that he gets a good start to the race, and on the hard compound tyres he's definitely going to make it difficult for himself. Yeah, we've got nobody in the chat answering the question.
Maybe they're just giving it a lot of thought.
Surely, is anyone thinking they're getting a clean sheet for the Premier League? I mean, bearing in mind you're going to have, you know, Cancelo, Diaz, Laporte, and all that, John Stones in front of you defending.
And you've got 30 odd chances at it.
Yeah, but there's no, like, if someone 9 times out of 10, if someone in the Premier League is taking a shot at you from any range, it's probably going in, isn't it? Let's be honest. Like, even one straight at your feet, there's probably enough power behind it to mean you're going to fumble one of them.
Nah, I think I'm still going to take the gamble. I reckon I've got it, you know.
So Yorkie's absolutely not pissing about. He's parking up.
Away.
He's parked up early doors. He's ready to start this race. Right, quickly, how many people are going to get disqualified? I'm going 4.
I was going to go 5.
Alright. FP Racing League saying, gonna gamble, have you seen the state of Nottingham Forest attack? Mate, if Messi Lingard's having one from 40 yards, it's going top bins. I'm not keeping it out. Right then.
That's 1.
How many have we got? TJM, Nigel Piggle. There's 3.
3.
Come on, it's got to be 4, surely.
It's all hanging on I'm now decent. Oh, there's the 4.
Oh, you dancer. Right then, I know TJM's host, so let's see how many positions he's going to gain off the start then. 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. We're looking at LWS Yorkie on pole. He's on the softs. And look at that, he absolutely flies away, and it looks like TGM's got a really good start. Bidley's had a shocker, but El Plan from 4th on the grid is going to be up the inside, and it looks like Nigel Piggle is going to also get himself into 3rd position, but Thunder Buddy's going to get a better exit on the hard tyres.
And Ashdown.
Yeah, it's really oh, he's out. Oh no, Ashdown is out.
Ideal.
It is.
Well, it's been an ideal start for our plan.
Yeah, a very ideal start for Big Maxwell then in P10. He's up 8 positions in the McLaren. But what we have got to point out, Diamond, is look at the gap between 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, they managed to pull quite a gap as it's coming down again now.
Yeah, I think Nigel Piggle's just gone into the red on the Delta because he's had to slow down big time.
Yeah.
But look, yeah, it's nearly 3 seconds the gap. have no idea what's going on here. If it could go green at any point in the near future, that would be great. Bidley is looking at these two like a pair of sharks. And it looks like we've gone green again. Nobody has sped under the safety car, but it looks like we've had a bit of an accident in the background. And it's EG46 Squid then. He's had an incident, and both him and Gopher have lost their full front wing.
Gopher's
got an absolute nightmare from the pair of them, but it looks like Bidley then was having a little look on Thunder Buddy. He's not quite going to be close enough come the braking zone, and Marsbar's got himself nicely onto the back of this little battle then for P3.
Well, 3 wide there with the 2 McLarens and the Alfa Romeo.
Yep, and it looks like Heginio's going to try and have a look at the inside of RSF1 Locker into the first of the left-hander. Locker is going to be really aggressive on the outside, and it looks like Big Maxwell had a bit of a problem, and Darth Grey Fox was round in the background, and it looks like a bit of a collision there with EG46 Squid, who already didn't have a front wing, but Heginio then up one place into P10. The Lapio Finn, about a howler of a qualifying session, he's up in P8. And he's going to look to hunt down the group in front, and he's going to have Locker and Heginio behind him for company.
Yeah, someone else who's also had a good start is Jarvis up in P11.
Yeah, and as we were talking there, Thunder Buddy was passed then by Bidley, and Bidley is just trying to use some of that battery now to bridge the gap to Nigel Piggle. L Plan has got the gap down to Yorkie as well, so now the DRS is active. L Plan can have a look at reeling in the Alpine. If we look at the ERS difference though, Yorkie on 80%, Thunder Buddy on 95% as well. He's on the hard compound tyres, so look to see him come alive towards the end of this stint. Marsbar, who started on those soft compound tyres, we spoke about him on the safety car, and he is up to P7 then.
Oh, Jarvis has gone round.
Yeah, Marsbar is round then. We just talked about him in those soft tyres, and they've really started to overheat, and it's resulted in a bit of a problem then at turn number 8.
That was close.
Thunder Buddy under a lot of pressure now. He's not going to be in the DRS of Bidley coming into turn number 3 now, so we're going to go on board with TJM, who's going to definitely have a look at the Aston Martin. But up in front, I think it's going to be Bidley who's going to have a look at Nigel Piggle. Neither close enough on that occasion, but it looks like Bidley's got a good exit. He's not going to be close enough. Yorkie's going to have to look to use a little bit of that battery now, I think, Diamond, as he's on the soft tyres, and he needs to start to pull a gap.
Yeah, he's not quite pulling away from Alplan as he probably would think he would do on those softs. And yeah, it's going to very quickly come into the crossover period between the softs and the mediums, and it'll be hard for him to keep Alplan from overtaking him.
Oh, Bidley now, he's going to have to let off the throttle as he gets incredibly close to Nigel Piggle. And what that does mean is that Thunder Buddy is now going to be back within the DRS. But surely it's going to have to take a lot of DRS from Nigel Piggle to defend from Bidley on this lap, as he's the closest he has been. But prior to that, we're going to jump on board with L Plan. Is he going to use any of that battery to try and put Lewis Yorkie under pressure? It looks like he's not, so we're going to go back on board with Bidley, who's really close now to Nigel Piggle. He's going to shape to the outside. Who's going to be later on the brakes? And it looks like Bidley's going to try and hang it round the outside then. Nigel Piggle's going to run him slightly off track, and Bidley's going to get beached.
Yeah, and he's not going to get the DRS either.
Yeah, definitely quite aggressive there from Nigel Piggle, but he keeps the position in the end.
Oh, my life, he's had a stinker.
Bidley, did he just lose it on the exit?
I think he tagged the back of
TJ
Nigel,
collected
went
him
a bit deep, and he was collected by Thunder Buddy.
Oh, and Heginio's crashed into Bidley's car.
Oh dear.
Tis the Noodles also got involved.
And Lapio Fitton's got a drive-through.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's Bidley. He's cocked it up for everyone. He went deep into the corner. He tagged the back of Nigel Piggle's car, and he's gone round. And he was collected by Thunder Buddy.
Yeah, so Thunder Buddy and TJM both in for a front wing change as they got caught up in the incident. Lewis Yorkie's going to box for the fresh mediums. And what it does mean is El Plan, Nigel Piggle and Locker are going to be your new top 3. And it looks like we've got a lot of drivers in the box.
Yeah, sorry, I was just getting more back into the lobby.
No worries at all then. So, if we look at... I mean, Lewis Yorkie's definitely going to have the advantage on the fresh mediums, but in terms of track position, El Plan is now P1. Law, who had a disappointing Q3, is... or no, he had a disappointing Q2, sorry, is up in P5. Absolute nightmare then lap for AlphaTauri.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal, but Locker has had a very good first stint before the safety car has ended up in P3. It'll be interesting to see what he can do with the medium runners around him. I've just seen in chat that Piggle's saying that he's forgot to change his tyre pressures before the race.
Oh dear. So they're going to be toasty. Has anyone in the chat decided whether they're going to take the 38 games to get a clean sheet?
No, I think
Bearing
FP
in mind,
Racing just said they will.
Bearing in mind,
that's it.
bearing in mind you get your arms amputated if you don't get a clean sheet.
Lapio Finn said no. Hedgenio said he'd take the gamble.
Hedgenio also just letting us know how unlucky he is. I mean, there is nothing more unlucky than collecting a sideways car in the middle of the track. Definitely no fault of his own, and that sees him out of the race then on his debut, and desperately unlucky. But what he has done is he's shown us what pace he's got, Diamond, and definitely he's going to be a force up the top of the field in future races to come.
Yeah, he's definitely got the pace to be challenging the top runners each week. He's just been incredibly unlucky.
He said a year's worth of Man City wages will cover me for life. No, that's not how it works, mate. You get a clean sheet, you get £5 million. There's no additional fees, because Man City's wages is going to be more than £5 million a year, so the £5 million is going to be pocket money.
Also, I've got to play 30 odd games all season unpaid.
Slave. I mean, you're telling me if you were offered to play 38 Premier League games for Man City for no money, you wouldn't do it? I'm doing it for free.
Not in goal.
What do you mean? Get thrown in for a few Champions League games and all, happy days. You ain't going to lift the trophy, like, but...
Well, no, they're never going to win. I'd get robotic arms. Yeah, but you're not getting paid unless you keep the clean sheet.
Yeah, see, yeah, you'd have robotic arms and no money. Well, you wouldn't even have that. You wouldn't even have. You wouldn't even have the money for robotic arms. Anyway, then El Plan is up at the front. Disability living pay. I mean, you will be. I mean, you won't have any arms, but you will be able to tell the grandkids that you played 38 games for Man City and conceded 100 goals. Right, as El Plan is going to take us away to start the 9th lap of this Austrian GP. And he's going to go on the exit of the final corner then, and it looks like everybody's going to get away cleanly. I know that corner makes it really difficult to...
You've jinxed it, Gopher spun.
Yeah, go for spun, but Locker is right on the back of Nigel Piggle, and it looks like he's got his tyres up to temperature nice and early. We've got another incident at the back. It's Squid again.
I think he's had a
problem
together
in the background. Yeah. As Lewis Yorkie then under pressure from Law. Law, who's on the hard tyres and is going to be a force to reckon with come the end of the race. And it looks like we're going to have a swap at Aston Martin as Thunder Buddy is up the inside of Jarvis. Jarvis is going to leave a lot of space on the outside. That was very neatly done from the Aston Martin pair, and Thunder Buddy now on the fresher tyres is going to have his eyes set on the Lapio Finn up in front, who's still on those hards. Oh, I've just seen Minnie in the background have a spin. I did. Oh dear. Always on the safety car restart, it's difficult to get the tyres up to temperature, and it looks like Yorkie is all over the back of Locker then, and Yorkie on the full traction is going to make an easy move down the inside of the final corner, and Locker is just going to have to sit himself in nicely in P4. Eugenio, see you later, mate. Thank you for taking part. You definitely showed your pace today, so hopefully we'll see you next week. Back to the action. It looks like we've got a bit of a train stretching from the front of the field pretty much all the way to the back, and Thunder Buddy's going to go for a move up the inside into turn number 4. He's had to go on the grass to make the move, and it looks like he's going to just about get the move done. Lapio Finn starts to turn in quite early.
It's going to put him under pressure from Jarvis now.
Yeah. Jarvis is definitely going to have a look and follow his Aston Martin teammate through. TJM also looking like he wants to get a move done on both Jarvis and the Lapio Finn. And the Lapio Finn, who did box under that safety car, he's on the fresh hard compound tyres and he's into the pits. Did he get front wing damage?
I'm not sure.
Oh, he's in for his drive-through. He's in for his drive-through, I remember. Yeah. TJM then who's having a look up, surely not at the inside of the turn number 1. He's going to decide against it, get nice and early on the brakes, and Jarvis defending the position went too deep. But what it does mean is I'm Now Decent is going to get the run on the pair of them. They're all using all of the battery. The light is flashing for both TJ and I'm Now Decent. I'm Now Decent's going to go around the outside. Jarvis is going to go deep on the brakes to try and hold the position from the Alpine. But the Alpine is going to have just a little bit more grip, and now Marsbar, it's gone from bad to worse for Jarvis. Marsbar, who's got to go on the grass to have a look around the outside of Jarvis. TJM up the inside of I'm Now Decent. It's side by side in the front and side by side behind. And it looks like Marsbar's going to also have a look then on the inside of Jarvis, and Jarvis is just about going to keep the position. It's great racing in the midfield. As it gives me a chance to catch my breath then, but not just yet, as Nigel Piggle is in all kinds of trouble as Lewis Yorkie is nearly pushing him around the final sector. That's the full traction for you. And the DRS is active, and Nigel Piggle's light is also flashing, so it looks like Lewis Yorkie is going to have to wait until turn 3 to get his opportunity, and Nigel Piggle's going to try and defend, but Yorkie is going to get that move done. He's going to get his eyes set now on L Plan up in front. He's got a gap of 1 second.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult race for Piggle if he's not sorted his tyre pressures out. His tyres are going to be incredibly warm, and it's going to make his tyre degradation a lot worse.
Yeah, I'm Now Decent then at the front of this train that's for P7, but he does have less than 10% ERS, and I know TJM behind him is also a low on the battery, so we'll see if Jarvis can try and make his way back through into contention for this top 7.
Yeah, Marsbar's looking like he's in a good position. He's in 7th. Yeah. Ooh, as Jarvis has lost it.
Oh dear. We spoke about how well Marsbar was doing on his first soft tyre stint, but then he did drop it at turn number 8, so we'll see what he can do on the medium tyres now. But it looks like TJM is close once again, and Lewis Yorkie up front has bridged that gap then to L Plan, and L Plan's going to not defend this one too hard, but what is going to happen is he's going to get the DRS down in towards turn 4, and he's going to look to get a little bit of a switchback on Yorkie, who gets on the sausage curb, and surely that's not going to give him a good exit. L Plan is going to have a look back at the inside then to defend the position into turn number 4, and I think he's going to get this move done safely before the braking zone. Yorkie's going to try and hold it round the outside then. Oh my word, what a move from Yorkie as he keeps the position then, and El Plan's going to have to slot himself in for P2.
Yeah, it's a great move from Yorkie. I've also been watching TJ. He did make the move into turn 3 on I'm Now Decent. Didn't get a very good exit, and he's now ended up losing out to Marsbar through sector 2 as well.
Yeah, Marsbar making moves once again. He made a lot of places up in the first part of the race before the safety car, and now he's back up to P8 again. I believe he was P7 before that safety car. So he's back up again. He's on the fresher medium tyres, and he's got I'm Now Decent in his sights, and he's got plenty of ERS to work with, so expect to see him getting close in the next few laps. Another driver who's close is Thunder Buddy. It's taken him a few laps just to get these medium tyres working, but he's now right on the back of RSF1 Locker, and he's going to look up the inside into turn number 3. Locker's going to not really give him any room on the inside, and Thunder Buddy's had to cut the corner. Bit naughty there from Locker, as he didn't really give any room at all, and Thunder Buddy's not having any of it. He's going to use plenty of battery then to get up the inside of Locker, or around the outside I should say, into turn number 4, and that's going to be the move done. As I didn't notice this just yet, Diamond, but Nigel Piggles actually got himself onto the back of these front 2.
Yeah, he's just been very quietly catching up to the back of them while they were fighting. Yeah, I did think he would be struggling with his tyre pressures and with tyre deg as he goes wide on that corner, but he does seem to be holding his own very nicely as he's back into DRS range of El Plan.
We've got a big battle in the background then for P9 at the moment. We've got TJM at the front of the group who's dropped back quite a bit from I'm Now Decent, and it stretches all the way back to EG46 Squid, and we've got a little bit of a DRS train. And I'm Now Decent is also going to have a look at Marsbar, and Marsbar's going to have way more battery, and I'm Now Decent's going to go for the lunge. It was really early on the brakes from Marsbar. Both the drivers make their way through the corner. Marsbar's going to get the better exit and the DRS. Really smartly done from the Ferrari driver, who's going to hold the position.
Neither of them have the DRS.
The rear wing's open for Marsbar.
No, I didn't get a DRS wing open.
No, right. Anyway then,
well,
Big Maxwell makes his way past Noodle, and it looks like Noodle's tagged him, and it's resulted in a big old crash. It's a URC nightmare. It's a URC nightmare, and poor old Squid has been caught up in another crash.
He's getting absolutely no luck this race.
He is getting ping-ponged left, right and centre. And I'll tell you what, it's actually starting to look a bit close between the top 6 or so. There's not really any big gaps out there at all. There's Nigel Piggle with no battery left. Yeah, Yorkie is definitely going to have the advantage come the end of the race in terms of tyres, but if El Plan can keep himself nicely in behind the Alpine driver and build up a little bit of that battery, there's no reason why he can't, make some problems here for Yorkie. It's a URC nightmare, isn't it? It's just the Noodle, and there's the other one, Maxwell, as well. Maxwell's decided enough is enough. He's retired in the pits. Squid, very noble of him to carry on.
He's also got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
He's open for a safety car.
Like he said, commendable that he's carried on.
Thunder Buddy now onto the DRS train. He's popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah, and he's got 5 lap younger tyres than Piggle, so and El Plan, so he would be looking to get past these two quite quickly, to be fair.
Yep, so El Plan closer now to Lewis Yorkie, as he has been, for a few laps. He's got the gap down to 6/10, and Nigel Piggle is just struggling to keep onto these two. He's using all of his battery, but his tyres are 16 laps old now, and Nigel Piggle's going to get another corner cutting penalty, and that's not going to do him any favours. as he's now under pressure from Thunderbird, who's on 5 lap fresher tyres and a bit healthier on the ERS. So it'd be interesting to see. Nigel Piggle then is in the box this lap. Very interesting pit entry line. He was having none of that white line. Oh, Zion Mini at the back having a spin then. His medium tyres have definitely seen better days. And Thunderbuddy is going to be really disappointed that Nigel Piggle decided to come in the pits that lap, because now he's out of the DRS of the front two.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal for Thunderbody. But to be fair, the way that Nigel entered the pits, it didn't slow Thunderbody down. Whereas if he took it with the white line, I think Mini's gone round again.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
It would have slowed him down significantly.
As I'm Now Decent then's going to use all of the ERS he has left to have a look at Mars Bar, and he looks like he's locked the brakes up, and Mars Bar's not going to be too happy with that one. But what he does get is a little bit of a better exit, and he's going to hold the position then from I Am Now Decent. I think it would have been a little bit rude for him to hold that position from the Ferrari driver, as it was a bit of a barge attempt into turn number 4. But nonetheless, he keeps his position. L Plan then into the box. He just says enough is enough on those medium tyres. He's going to box for the hards, and we'll see where this is going to leave him once Lewis Yorkie comes into the box. Thunderbuddy now 2.3 seconds behind Lewis Yorkie, and he's got a lot of work to do if he's going to try and bridge that 2-second gap. I'm Now Decent is going to have another look here at Mars Bar. Do you think, with the battery he's got left, do you think he's got a chance here?
I mean, yeah. I think Mars
Bar again.
Yeah, he's been a little bit harsh with the amount
Mars
of
Bar's
space
got an
he's
illegal
giving.
overtake.
But I think Mars Bar is always going to have the better of I'm Now Decent, because he's just got so much more ERS than him, and he's giving the place back, so that's very fair play from I'm Now Decent.
Yeah, you got to respect it. As Gopher, Piggle and L Plan are having a little bit of a battle, and this is not what L Plan needs. He needs a really incident-free outlap, as he's just come in the box for the fresh hards, and Nigel Piggle is absolutely all over him. You've got to point out that Nigel Piggle did have the undercut, so this is a battle for position. And Nigel Piggle's going to go straight into the back of L Plan. He needs to really be a bit more patient, because the last thing these two need is to get caught in an accident. Darth Grey Fox then also in the pits, and Gopher is watching this battle up in front. He's Nigel Piggle's just taken L Plan clean out. And then he swipes across Gopher as well. What is he doing? L Plan is going to be absolutely fuming. Desperately unlucky then for the Williams driver, who was going to be in a battle for P1 come the end of the race, but that has taken a massive turd all over his chances of the race win. Nigel Piggle, you've got to hang your head in shame. That was appalling. On 3 different occasions there, clipping the back of L Plan, just going too late on the brakes.
He's just been late on the brakes and way too impatient.
It's absolutely not good enough.
He gets another time penalty.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he's got any wing damage at all. Will he be into the box? He won't. He's going to carry on going, so he's kept the position. I'm Now Decent now into the box then. Let's see where he is going to come out. And I think this race has just strung out a little bit after this this pit window diamond.
Yeah, the gaps have definitely gotten a lot larger. I think Piggle spinning L Plan round is taking a lot of the sting out of the race as well, as the Mini's gone round again.
Yeah, but he's now a lap down in the Haas, and he's got to wait for a few of these guys to make their way through. He's not really got a decent gap to get through here. He's got to be careful not to get disqualified, and he manages to let everyone through. Well done to Mini for not causing too much of a problem. And Thunderbuddy had just got himself onto the back of Yorkie and then gets a 3-second time penalty. Desperately unlucky. It was so marginal at turn number 11. but he's going to go around for one more lap. His medium tyres are going to be absolutely atrocious, but he is going to go round for one more lap. Law on 21 lap old hard tyres, he's still going round. Locker also on 21 lap old hards. Right then, as Yorkie's actually done double mediums and softs.
It's a good strategy. The mediums can go the rest of the race.
So, do you get 2 sets of mediums now?
I think he's chosen
because you didn't get 2 sets of mediums before.
There's one of the tyre options that gives you a lot of medium tyres.
Yeah, I need to take a look at that because I like a 2-stop soft medium. And Yorkie's going to look to make it work here as he's going to try and hunt down the front 4. I mean, strictly speaking, I think the front 4 have all got to box yet, surely.
Yeah, definitely. As Locker does in now.
Yeah, closely followed
so
then by
Law.
Law. They're both into the box. Thunderbuddy is going to stay out for at least one more. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, Thunderbuddy did start on the hard, so maybe he's going to stretch his mediums to be able to go softs at the end. But it's going to be a big ask.
Yeah, we've got to be hoping for a safety car at this point.
Yeah. PAFC Yorkie saying Miles Bar podium incoming. Well, if a safety car comes out, then there's every chance it can happen. But I think without the safety car, he's going to see himself drop down out of the points. As TGM then is up into P9, and he's going to be looking to hunt down the Lapio Finn, who we know is ever so smooth on his tyres. He always makes the hard tyres last most of the race, and he's 17 laps into this stint, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and stretch it all the way.
Yeah, the way he drives is just incredibly kind on the tyres. It makes it perfect for tyre saving, and he can get his stints a lot longer than most other drivers.
Yeah, so he is in P8 so far, so again he's going to be hoping for that safety car, and it looks like Law's had a bit of a problem. The safety car is not going to come out, and the front 2 have decided enough is enough. They're in the box. We'll see where Thunderbuddy comes out then in comparison to Lewis Yorkie. It looks like Lewis Yorkie's got a huge undercut, and Thunderbuddy's going to have some work to do then to hunt down Nigel Piggle. L-Plan also having that. Yeah, L-Plan, after having that incident with Nigel Piggle, is on a mission. He has unfinished business with the Haas driver, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him hunt down Nigel Piggle and, you know, stick a pretty forceful move on him.
Yeah, he's got to channel his inner Piggle and leave as little room as he can, but still keeping it fair.
That wouldn't be channeling an inner Piggle then.
Well, yeah, keeping it the fair bit wouldn't. But
oh, Piggle, what are we going to do with you, mate? I believe there's probably going to be some hefty penalties coming your way. Can't lie.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Not in the slightest. Anyway, there's I think it's safe to say Lewis Yorkie's going to be.
Piggle's out.
Piggle's called it a day.
Yeah.
He's retired in the pits. We've also, between I'm Now Decent and Darth Grey Fox, we've had an issue at the back. Nigel Piggle's thrown his toys out the pram saying I'll retire to save you the effort of complaining.
You'll just get penalties for your next race then. It doesn't really make a difference.
It's our job to talk about the incidents that happen on the track, mate. We are commentators. So that is literally what we're supposed to do.
So then is called it as well.
He's also called it a day. FB Racing League's also hit the nail on the head. Joke's on you, Pens in the next race. Not ideal. As the Lapio Finn then has been passed by TJM, who's up into the top 5 now. Diamond TJM's really had a solid second half of the race after getting caught up in that incident that caused the safety car. And Thunderbuddy then sets the fastest lap of the race. He is absolutely on a mission. And if it weren't for that 3-second time penalty, I'd say this race was still up in the air, but I think it's going to take a massive ask for Thunderbuddy to make any sort of move stick on Yorkie, and it looks like Marsbar is going to be the next driver to come onto the back of the Lapio Finn. And the Lapio Finn on 20 lap old hards now. Diamond, do we think he's going to make it another 10?
It's going to be an ask. I'm not quite sure those hards can go another 10.
Yep, I mean, if he boxes, he's going to be well and truly out of the points. So I think this is his only hope for some points here. And if there's anyone that can do it, it's going to be the Lapio Finn. I mean, we had some people in the chat saying Marsbar for a podium. He's right on the back of TJM now, and if he can get past TJM, he's got a big old gap to bridge to Locker in P4.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite going to be able to get a podium, but he is definitely in for a good points finishing.
Yeah, we'll see where he decides to make the move on TJM. Then he's got almost triple the amount of battery that the AlphaTauri man has. And I think he's not going to have to use too much of it to get by yet. You see he's already turned off the battery. And TGM's going to head towards the inside to look. TGM's going to play a bit of the DRS chicken. And he's going to slow down to get the DRS. But Marsbar gets an unbelievable exit. Oh my word. TGM, he played the DRS chicken, but I think that's a full traction versus
I was going to say, I reckon
job.
that is the power of medium traction out of that corner.
Yeah, TGM has been exposed. The full traction there, my word. What a difference in exit speed as Thunderbuddy has pulled the gap an extra half a second in the last 2 laps, but I think it's just going to be too little too late. But what he does need to do with his 3-second time penalty is pull a gap to L Plan behind, who's going to be holding on, trying to get that P2.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was typing to Piggle in chat.
Yeah. Well then, as the Lapio Finn is having a bit of a second wind here, is he going to have a look at TGM? TGM once again, he's not going to try and do the same DRS chicken, is he? No, he's going to actually try and fight the corner properly, and it looks like Lapio Finn on 22 lap old tyres is going to try and get the better exit. TJM is going to have... No, neither have got the DRS, so the Lapio Finn is going to have a look round the outside, and this is for position. This is for P6 on track, and it looks like it's excellent racing between the pair. The Lapio Finn, is he going to try and stick his nose in into turn 7? He is.
He is. And
TJM's going to leave him just enough room. TJM is going to have a look for a little bit of a switchback. 22 lap old tyres, and he's still making it work. And these two need to be careful they don't battle too hard, because Law in P8 is coming.
I have no idea how the Lapio Finn's making these kind of moves on 22 lap hards, but I'm here.
It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. Now then, TGM is going to have to let off into turn 1 then. That's how you do it, Piggle. You don't go straight into the back of him. As TGM's going to open the DRS. He's not going to use any of that battery. I mean, he's not got much to use, but he's going to save some of it, and he's going to go towards the outside, and I think he just passed him before the detection zone. It looks like the Lapio Finn is going to make a tiny bit of contact, and he's going to have the DRS then, so TJM is going to be under pressure from the Williams driver. The Williams is going to use what battery he has left to try and make a look towards the inside. He's going to go for a dive. Oh, TJM's going to leave in the space. What a move again, and TJM's going to get the better exit round the outside. And the Lapio Finn, once again, he's going to try and hang it round the outside this time, but TJM has got the better grip. And what a battle between these two. This has been unbelievable.
Racing.
But look who's coming, Diamond. Law is hunting them down. He's bridged the gap a second and a half in the last lap.
Yeah, and he's on the faster and younger tyres. So he's...
Yeah. Oh, L Plan then gets a 3-second time penalty, and that puts his podium at risk, as Locker is within 1.9 seconds.
Marsbar
has the
gets
Lapio
a 3
Finn
second
then.
now.
Oh, no, I think he's going to be safe.
Law's got a 3-second penalty now.
Well, Law really needs to get a move on. Jeez, everyone's picking up the pens. Here we go then. The Lapio Finn. DRS open. He's not going to be close enough. And is that clouds? It's looking a bit cloudy.
I reckon there's some clouds, you know. There is a fair few.
In the background, we've got a little battle for P9 here, and it's Squid who's come out the grave after being involved in 3 incidents. He's still on track for points here.
I mean, this is why you carry on. It looks like you. Oh no! No!
Oh, oh no! This is why you carry. I mean, we will say it looks like he's still on for a. I mean, actually, this would be a good time to go towards the. Oh, he's got a 5-second penalty. He needs to get a move on because Gopher's coming. Gopher can sniff a point. Right then. The Lapio Finn is just about struggling now to stay within the DRS of TJM. And I think he's got a lot to ask if he's going to try and keep himself on the back of the AlphaTauri. I think that's Mini again, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's Mini
he's gone
again.
round again, yeah.
Oh, he had such a good qualifying session. There's, the Lapio Finn's tyres are now 25 lap old.
He's doing an absolute job.
Yeah, Law is coming. The Lapio Finn definitely works for Pirelli. Maybe he just doesn't use the throttle on the exit of corners. Do you reckon he just coasts it around the corners to save his tyres?
He's doing the greatest lift and coast job I've ever seen, if he is.
Yorkie in chat saying Mini's becoming a Beyblade. Here we go then. Law is going to breeze past the Lapio Finn. The Lapio Finn has got no business fighting that one. But what it does mean...
Oh, Squid's got another penalty.
Yeah, that is definitely his chance. Honestly, that was one of the worst curses I've ever seen in my life. But the Lapio Finn needs to stay within 3 seconds of Law then. And look out front, Thunder Buddy has put absolute shift in on this medium tyre stint. The gap was 3.8 to Yorkie. It's now 1.7, and if there was no penalty here for Thunder Buddy, this really could have been on.
Yeah, he's had an incredible race. He's been able to keep up with Yorkie near enough all race. He dropped off a little bit at the start, but just because he had the roadblock Piggle in between.
Right.
But then he's been able to keep with him ever since.
Right, everybody in the chat, everybody listening around the world, let's put your hands together and pray for some track extending from LWS Yorkie. For the love of God, cut a corner, you fraud. Right then, Law on the back of TJM. Law has used all of his battery now. TJM's going to have a little bit to work with to defend into turn number 4, but it looks like Law is going to get a better exit from the AlphaTauri. That is mediumtraction.com. He's going to get past the AlphaTauri, and all the AlphaTauri needs to do is just stick within the DRS and stick within 3 seconds of the Red Bull, and he'll get himself P6 once penalties are applied. And it looks like Thunder Buddy up in front has really closed that gap down once again.
Yeah, he'll be praying with every ounce of his being that Yorkie does get a penalty and he can try and put on an attack. But at this point, I do think he is a little bit too far back to try and mount an attack.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And,
we've got a
the
Red Bull
championship.
round.
Oh, safety car, surely.
Unfortunately not.
Michael Massey, get the car out. Oh, and it looks like after that, there is a good chance that EG46 Squid is going to get a point.
This is why you keep going.
Oh, actually, I don't know. The gap's 5 seconds. He needs to be 5 seconds in front. He needs to hope that Gopher lays one on Darth Grey Fox here. He's going to be wishing that Gopher gets his elbows out. Gopher, who's fighting for a point here. He's going to put the DRS open. He's going to shape towards the inside, and he's going to go later on the brakes than the Red Bull. The Red Bull is going to try and hang it around the outside and get a little bit of a switchback on Gopher. But Gopher gets the move done and has the DRS, and that is going to be him off into the distance and trying to keep that gap down to EG46 Squid.
Yeah, and it does look like the Lapio Finn is going to get these tyres to go the 30 laps.
It's an absolute unbelievable job. Oh, that's not Thunder Buddy, is it?
No, it's Jarvis.
Oh, no.
It's Jarvis. And
It's that's an awful place to be stopped.
I was about to say
Giving
he's not.
Bidley flashbacks there.
Yeah, he wasn't in the best position. He's got to be careful here. The tyres are not going to be the happiest.
Oh, this could have been so interesting. Look, 1.5 laps to go, and he's in the DRS.
Yorkie, go wide.
Oh, he's trying everything he can to stay within the track limits, and he's having the
Yeah.
cushtiest final lap of his life.
He's going to be taking it so easy.
Yeah, so then Thunder Buddy out of turn 1. He might as well use the battery that he's got. It's an incredible consistency, really, from the Aston Martin driver to cut a gap down, you know, from 3.8 seconds down to basically nothing over the course of 12 laps. I mean, I think that's absolutely remarkable, and what a performance this was from Thunder Buddy, and what could have been. This could have been for the race win right here. If he didn't get a daft penalty, Daft Grey Fox has had another spin by the looks of it. And it looks like after penalties are applied, Lewis Yorkie is going to take the win. Run a little bit wide. No.
If only.
So then Lewis Yorkie comes across the line to extend his championship lead. Thunder Buddy taking a very well-deserved P2.
Oh,
And
L-Plan
spinned it! Oh no!
That's given Locker P3.
Oh no! Oh, and he's going to come across the line. He is going to keep the place to Mars Bar after penalties, and actually, it doesn't lose him any positions somehow. TGM's going to get the place back from Law. The Lapio Finn on 31 lap tyres. Oh my, 31 laps on the hards to secure, what is it, 4 points?
Yeah, he's done well to make him go that far and still secure points, but it's down to Squid, and if he can get a point out of this race.
RSF1 locker up 12 positions then to scab a podium.
Squid's got 10th.
Squid
This is why you
has
carry
got
on.
P10. Tyres were 70% as the Lapio Finn. That is an unbelievable drive. 70%. I'm pretty sure on Monday mine was 70% after like 20 laps. So that is absolutely unbelievable. And what a race that was, Diamond. It wasn't, you know, the closest race we've had. But nonetheless, there was plenty going on and some excellent battles. I mean, want to point out that the Lapio Finn and TJM battle was unbelievable to watch. But this championship just got 10 times more boring because the Lewis Yorkie wins again. But what a race as we skip over towards our podium. And it's going to be the Alpine driver. Now then, Diamond, it is time for the illustrious Driver of the Day award, and we've got a few options here.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
For many different reasons, we've got drivers who's made up a load of positions. We've got, you know, Yorkie who's led from start to finish. We've got, you know, drivers who's made their tyres last 31 laps. We've got, I mean, there's many different drivers that need a shout out for sure, but who is taking it today?
Yeah, there's a fair few drivers. Locker getting P3 from 15th on the grid, Mars Bar getting up to 5th from 12th, but the Lapio Finn from 16th to 8th, making his hard tyres go 31 laps. I've got to give driver of the day to Lapio Finn. He had an absolutely amazing race.
Yeah, and in amongst that long hard tyre stint, he had an excellent battle with TGM, which he ultimately came off worse, but it was always going to be a tall order fighting with someone that was on 10 lap fresher tyres. But what a race that was. And the driver of the day today then, as voted by your co-commentator, is the Lapio Finn. But big shout out to our podium sitters, Yorkie, Thunder Buddy and Locker, for an excellent race across the board. That is all we have time for today then, ladies and gents, but I will point you towards some of our partner streams happening later on in the week. Diamond, where are we racing at FPRL this week?
FPRL is racing in Singapore.
FPRL then at Singapore this week, round the streets of that horrendous circuit, but always fun to watch with plenty of crashes, so make sure you get tuned in there, 8 PM UK times, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. URC are here with round 1 of season 4. They're kicking off at Australia on Friday night at 7:30 UK time. And then if you want to have 3 tabs open with 3 different streams on Friday night, you can also tune into EULR on Friday night for their Division 1. That kicks off at a time which I believe is 7:30, but it might be 8 o'clock. But if you've got it open at 7:30, you're not going to miss it. But